Hey there, and welcome to the Daily Manchester United News Show. Let's dive into today's top stories. Bayern planning shock swoop for Man United midfielder Scott McTominay in January. Bayern Munich could make a surprise approach to sign Manchester United midfielder Scott McTominay if they fail to land Fulham's Joao Palhinha in January, the Sun claim. The German champions were on the verge of signing Palhinha this summer, but the £56 million deal fell through after the Cottagers failed to find a suitable replacement. Marco Silva's side wanted McTominay as Palhinha's successor in the number 6 role, but the Scottish star was reluctant to move to Craven Cottage on a transfer deadline day. It's now reported that Bayern could target McTominay in January if they are unsuccessful in convincing Fulham to part ways with Palhinha, who just signed a new contract. The new deal does not have any release clause, and Fulham could hold out for a much higher fee. McTominay has been identified as the fallback option for Bayern. Thomas Tuchel appreciates the qualities of the 26-year-old after seeing him in action during his time as a Chelsea manager. Tuchel is said to be determined to land a new defensive midfielder following the club's 2-2 draw against Bayer Leverkusen, where they surrendered their lead on 2 occasions. United are currently facing a midfield injury crisis with Mason Mount, Sufyan Amrabat and Kobbie Mainoo on the sidelines. However, Mount and Amrabat are expected to return in a short notice, while Mainoo could be fit in the new year. In our view, this could pave the way for McTominay's departure in the January transfer window. McTominay was a surprise starter against Brighton yesterday, but he hardly made an impact from a central role. The Scot managed only 15 passes in over 80 minutes and won just 2 ground duels before his late substitution. It's quite clear that he is more comfortable in the defensive midfield position at club level. The £45 million rated star could get the opportunity to play regularly from the role at Bayern under Tuchel. He is unlikely to displace Casemiro at United. There could be more competition from Amrabat and Mainoo soon. Barcelona monitoring Jadon Sancho situation, thinking of a loan bid in January. Jadon Sancho has been banished to train on his own by the manager after he refused to apologise following putting out a public statement against the manager, accusing him of making him a scapegoat and meting out preferential treatment to others. The England winger would definitely have started otherwise, but instead, the manager had to employ Scott McTominay in unfamiliar position, ultimately reaping no benefits from that strange tactical switch. Sancho has underperformed massively since his move to Old Trafford and looks like his obstinate stance will lead to his departure in January. The player is also open to move with giants like Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Borussia Dortmund, already chasing the 23-year-old signature. Saudi Arabian clubs will also vie for his signature, with Al Ittifaq coming close to sealing his signature a couple of days ago, with the move falling apart due to the high permanent clause. Now, as per Sport, Barcelona are also monitoring proceedings and to take advantage of United's desperation to move the player on, might come in with a cheeky loan bid in the winter window. The report from Sport reads, Barcelona, from the sports area, is attentive to the development of the events that occur in Manchester in view of the possibility of acquiring the services of this player on loan for the January market. He is a left winger who would complete the Barca attack, since there are many who go on the right but none on the left. The club at the moment has not made a single move but is awaiting everything that happens around this player. United should not agree to a simple loan deal, and even if they want to move the winger on, they should try and recoup the €85 million they paid Dortmund, or at least come close to it. Eric Ten Hag on a crowd reaction after Rasmus Højlund's substitution versus Brighton. Manchester United manager Eric Ten Hag has said that he was pleased with the crowd reaction after Rasmus Højlund was substituted against Brighton and Hove Albion. The Denmark international made his full debut at Old Trafford yesterday, and he almost scored the equaliser for United. The goal was denied by VAR after Marcus Rashford had taken the ball over the byline in the lead up. Højlund did not get another opportunity to find the back of the net, but he mesmerized the club's faithful with an impressive home debut. The 20-year-old striker was good with his hold-up and link-up play in the final third of the pitch. Højlund's eventual substitution in the 64th minute was met with a chorus of boos from Old Trafford. Speaking after the game, Ten Hag took the reaction in a positive sense and said that it was very good that the crowds embraced Højlund's showing. The Dutchman added that he performed very well but had to be brought off due to lack of match fitness, having recently recovered from a back problem. He told ManUnited.com, I think it was very good that Højlund, obviously the crowd embraced his first performance at Old Trafford, which is very good when you bring in a new player and he gets this reception. Everyone is excited by it and I think he performed very well, so we are happy. This is the next step. After his injury, he recovered from it. He has some deficiencies in fitness and we have to build that, but I think it was another big step. Højlund joined United from Atalanta at the beginning of August, but had to wait until early September to make his debut after picking up a back injury in the preseason. He only made a cameo appearance against Arsenal before the international break. For Denmark, he played less than 90 minutes of normal time across two matches. Both United and Denmark were cautious over playing him for long. In our opinion, the manager did the right thing to substitute him shortly after the hour mark yesterday. Keeping Højlund on the pitch was essential at the time, but United also need to look into the long term. They cannot risk the striker sustaining another potential setback. Hannibal Mejberi shows character with terrific cameo in a Brighton defeat. Manchester United midfielder Hannibal Mejberi produced a terrific cameo appearance during the 3-1 Premier League defeat to Brighton and Hove Albion on Saturday. The Tunisian played in a couple of friendlies for United in a pre-season, but he did not make a single appearance for the club before the September international break. There were claims that Besiktas could sign him on loan, but a deal did not materialize. Mejberi finally got his chance to impress manager Eric Ten Hag. He came off shortly after the hour mark and scored a consolation goal with a sublime long-range strike. Aside from his goal, the 20-year-old completed 100% of his passes and dribbles, winning foul duels. He won two fouls and made one tackle while losing possession only once. The youngster is highly rated by the club's faithful, and he showed plenty of character with his terrific cameo. Mejberi was fired up for the challenge against the Siglas. In our opinion, he should have started the game ahead of Scott McTominay, who was poor in midfield. The Scot completed only 15 passes until he was substituted during the closing minutes. He won only two ground duels and was hardly in the game for the Red Devils. United were on a stunning 31-match unbeaten run at Old Trafford, but the streak came to an end in a poor fashion. The club have no time to ponder over the result. The Red Devils face a tough challenge against Bayern Munich away from home in their first Champions League group stage game on Wednesday night. If Mason Mount is unfit, we would prefer to see Mejberi starting in the center of the park ahead of McTominay, who did not provide any offensive threat. Richard Keys blasts Eric Ten Hag for pointing fingers at Man United players. Manchester United suffered their third Premier League defeat of 23-24 at the hands of Brighton and Hove Albion at Old Trafford, and manager Eric Ten Hag pointed fingers at the players. The Dutchman insisted after the game that his players strayed from the game plan, and his claim has left Richard Keys fuming. The visitors found themselves 3-0 up before Man United got a consolation goal, and it could have ended 4-1 had Andre Onana not made a great save when left one-on-one with Ansu Fati. Ten Hag was far from pleased with his players after the game, taking aim at them for not sticking to their new game plan. Keys was unimpressed, taking to X to slam the Red Devils' boss. He said, I had to read this twice to be certain it wasn't a wind up. Is this guy for real? I say again, he is taking United nowhere, nor will he while he always blames his players. It's very simple. He's failed. He hasn't got a clue what he is trying to achieve. Man United were poor against the Siglas, and while the players did not cover themselves in glory, the manager should be blamed for failing to get the better of his opposite number. Brighton boss Roberto De Zerbi outwitted Ten Hag, and the Dutchman had to do better with the crop of players at his disposal. The Red Devils cannot win major silverware playing like this, and things have to change if they want to finish in the top four again this term, as they currently do not look like challengers for the Champions League places. Man United are far from being regarded as title challengers, and Ten Hag needs to quickly find a solution to this problem. They return to action on Wednesday when they travel to face Bayern Munich in their opening group game of the Champions League campaign before visiting Turf Moor to face a struggling Burnley on Saturday. Jaime Carragher mocks Andre Onana after Manchester United suffer a 3-1 loss to Brighton. Jamie Carragher has mocked Manchester United goalkeeper Andre Onana after he conceded thrice in the 3-1 defeat to Brighton and Hove Albion on Saturday. The Sky Sports pundit recently slammed the Cameroon international for screaming at Harry Maguire during the preseason friendly against Borussia Dortmund in July, and he did not hesitate to aim a dig at him in a response to Gary Neville on X. The Red Devils legend was expressing his displeasure at the Glazers after the game, and while he attempted to defend Onana after the former Liverpool star replied to his tweet, Carragher saw it as a chance to mock him. Carragher tweet reads, Tell him to stop waving his hands at players and use them to save some shots. Onana was not at fault for the defeat against the Siglas, but the former Inter Milan star should have done better for the third goal. He has kept one clean sheet in 5 Premier League games so far since he joined Man United, which is not good enough for David De Gea's successor. The Spaniard kept most clean sheets last term and would have saved some of the goals Onana has let in thus far in his Red Devils career. He has been solid with his ball at his feet, but needs to do better with his hands if he is not to be seen as a success at Man United. At the end of the day, it's hard to penalize a goalie too much when those in front of him are not doing their jobs, and Onana was indeed let down by his defense. However, he managed to stop the scores from becoming 4-1 after a huge save low to his left when Ansu Fati raced through one-on-one. Man United returned to action on Wednesday with a trip to Allianz Arena to face Bayern Munich in their opening group stage of the Champions League for the season before facing Burnley at Turf Moor next Saturday, and Onana will be eager to prove his quality in those games. The Red Devils have won 2 and lost 3 of their opening 5 league games in 23-24 and are currently 13th in the table, having chipped 10 goals, and they need to improve significantly if they want to make anything out of the season. Manchester United sent scouts to watch Red Bull Salzburg attacking midfielder Oscar Eglov. Scouts from Arsenal and Manchester United were impressed after watching Red Bull Salzburg attacking midfielder Oscar Eglov during the international break, according to The Sun. The 19-year-old was in action for Israel against Romania, and he backed the equalizer to boost his country's chances of qualifying for next summer's European Championship. Gluck also impressed in the next game as Israel left it late to secure a 1-0 win over Belarus. Liverpool also had representatives watching Gluck, and both Man United and the Gunners could be facing stiff competition for his services in January or next summer. The Salzburg forward turned down a move to join Barcelona in January, agreeing to leave Maccabi Tel Aviv for his current club in a £6 million deal. Gluck believes he made the right choice for the sake of his development, and he could soon be playing in the Premier League. Both Arsenal and Man United started keeping tabs on the teenage sensation in January, and more clubs are expected to join them. His finished effort for Israel against England in the final was named under 19 Euro goal of the tournament last year, and he helped his country secure a spot at the 2024 Olympics in Paris for just the third time in their history after they beat England at the summer's Under-21 European Championships. Gluck has played 8 games for the Austrian club this season, scoring once and registering a further 3 assists, and Man United could do with such a winger given their current struggles in the Premier League. The Red Devils will keep watching the Israeli going forward, but pipping the Gunners, Liverpool and co to his services will not come easy. Gluck can play as an attacking midfielder behind the striker, a right winger, and a second striker, and he ended his last season with Maccabi with 6 goals and 8 assists in 25 games. As we wrap up today's Manchester United news, remember to stay tuned for daily updates right here on the channel. Don't miss out on the latest updates, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like if you found this information valuable. Your support means the world to us. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.